Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing a little book haul. I say little, it's a big book haul, as it always is. This is basically the things I've gotten within like the last 3 or 4 months, including Christmas. So that's why it's a little bit bigger than normal, because I did get a fair few books from my family and friends for Christmas. So yeah, it's just a big old book haul as always, and I'm just going to be going through the books that I got and hopefully giving you some recommendations for books that you may want to read in the future. I have 30 books to talk about and I really hope you enjoyed this video. So yeah, let's just dive in. Okay, where to start? I'll start off with my trilogy first. So I finally got a Darker Shade of Magic trilogy by V. Schwab. This has been on my radar for quite a while, and I got this off my family for Christmas, so I was very happy to finally get this trilogy. Yeah, so A Darker Shade of Magic. All I know about this is that it's based, I think it's London, but there's 3 different types of London. It's like 3 different universes. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but that's literally all I know about it. Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, it's 4. Most people only know 1 London, but what if there were 4? There's Grey London, dirty and crowded and without magic, so that's today's London. There's Red London, where life and magic are revered. Then White London, ruled by whoever has murdered their way to the throne. But once upon a time there was a Black London. About a traveller, magicians with a rare ability to travel between these parallel worlds. Together they will fight to save all these Londons and preserve the delicate balance of magic. Doesn't that sound really interesting? I think it sounds really cool. Yeah, I finally managed to pick that up and I'm very, very excited about it. I then picked up The Speaking Bones. This is a huge book. It's massive. It's almost it's 1,000 pages. It is over 1,000 pages. This is part of the Grace of Kings series. This is actually book 4. So I have book 1 and book 4. Yeah, but it was on the buy one, get one half off. And I know I definitely want to read this series and I've bought book 1. So I probably will be picking up the other 2 at some point. But I just really love the art style of these books. It's almost like steampunk crossed with magic. And it just looks really, really cool. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see The Grace of Kings. That's what the first one is called. There's The Grace of Kings, The Wall of Storms, The Veiled Throne, and Speaking Bones. I don't know if there's going to be any more in the series, but they're big books. Yeah, so I'm very, very, very excited to get that. I finally got Nosferatu by Joe Hill. I've been wanting this one for quite a while. I haven't watched the TV series as well, but I think I'll read the book first, and then if I really enjoy the book, then I might have a look at delving into the TV show. But yeah, I've been wanting Nosferatu for quite a while. When I researched best horror books, this one was on so many of the, like top 50 horror book lists. So yeah, I've been wanting this one for a good while, and I'm very, very looking forward to reading it. I just recently, I don't know if you can see, I got an ARC by Tessa Bailey called Secretly Yours. And I've not read Tessa Bailey before, but I really enjoyed the arc. I think I gave it 4 stars. So I have It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey, but I've never actually read it. And then when I got that and read that, I thought, I actually really like Tessa Bailey's writing style, so I figured I would delve in. I also picked up Hook, Line and Sinker, and then My Killer Vacation, which I actually really like the sound of this. It sounds really good. So I'm going to give those a try because I did really enjoy Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. You know what? I'll get it down. I'm being lazy. Yeah. I suppose this should be in this video as well, because I got it like a week or 2 ago, so this is, yeah. I also got Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. But yeah, I really enjoyed this as well. It was a nice rom-com, grumpy, sunshine, chaotic, organised romance. I enjoyed it, yeah, it was a nice cheesy romance, and I enjoyed that. And speaking of rom-coms, I just remembered I did also buy this last week, and I read it last week. So this is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. And I actually really enjoyed this book. It was reading like a 3-star, but then the ending really bumped it up to like 4.5. I really enjoyed the ending. It's about a girl who can see ghosts. It's a romance between her and a ghost, basically. It's her talking about grief and the trauma of growing up, being able to talk to ghosts, and yeah, it's more about her growth than it is about the romance, which I always do like when the romance kind of takes a bit of a back burner and it's more about character development. So yeah, I really did enjoy The Dead Romantics. So yeah, I did get that last week, but I read it, so it was up there. I picked up Cursed by Marissa Meyer, and I managed to get the Waterstone sprayed edges. Isn't it gorgeous? Yeah, so this is the spin-off. This is the second in the Gilded, I believe. Yeah, it's the Gilded, and I think it's a duology. I'm pretty sure it's a duology. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, so I got Cursed. I don't want to read the back of it because I haven't read the first. So yeah, there's Gilded and then there's Cursed. I got those. I then picked up the first 2 books in the Guild series. So I got Guild and I got Gleam. I'm pretty sure it's the first 2. Oh no, there's Glint. Okay, so I need to get Glint. All the names sound so similar. Yeah, so I got 2 of the books in the Guild series. So I'll quickly read the synopsis of the first book for you just so you get a taste of what the series is about. But I do believe this is a spicy romance series. So it says, this is a story of King Midas, or that's what we're always told. The Golden King with his palace of riches and me, the girl who turned to gold. Upon the snowy mountains in the 6th kingdom of Aria, I'm locked away in the High Bell Castle, away from the dangers of the world below. No one can get in apart from him. King Midas rescued me from the streets. He gave me food, shelter, and his heart. I promised to love him forever, but when war comes to the kingdom, a deal is struck, and I am at the heart of the bargain. Everything I know starts to change, my love for Midas challenged, my trust broken. Suddenly, I'm sent to travel between kingdoms to a future I no longer understand, and my spirit becomes truly tested. I'm always told this is his tale, but perhaps that is no longer the case. It's mine. Doing the rounds on Book Talk, so I wanted to give it a try. So I got Guild and I got Gleam, and there is also Glint and Glow. Glow was the most recent one to come out, I'm sure. Yeah, so I got those 2. I got Oliver Twist because I don't have a copy of Oliver Twist and I really love the story. I love all the adaptations I've seen. I've seen TV shows, movies, and I've also seen it in theatre, and I really like Oliver Twist, so I thought it's about time I actually read it, but I do know that Charles Dickens is somewhat challenging to read, so we'll give it a try. But yeah, I got Oliver Twist, an absolute classic. I also got another book by Charles Dickens, and it is Complete Ghost Stories. I love ghost stories and I love classics, so I'm really looking forward to reading that as well. Carrying on with the horror, I got The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. I've read one Grady Hendrix, My Best Friend's Exorcism. I read that. I think I gave it 3.5. I really enjoyed the premise and the idea behind it, but it was all the adults in the book that really annoyed me. They just seemed completely unreasonable and unrealistic. Other than that, I really enjoyed the main characters, the world, the premise. I loved it all, so I do want to continue reading Grady Hendrix, so I got The Final Girl Support Group. This is basically exactly what the title suggests. It is a group of girls who are the final girls, which, for those that don't know, the final girl is basically the girl who survives at the end of a horror movie story. The only girl who survives when all of her friends die, basically. That is the final girl. So the Final Girl Support Group is a bunch of girls who were final girls in their own stories come together for a support group, and a serial killer finds out about the support group and targets all of the final girls and wants to kill them all. So yeah, it'll be really interesting, and it was also the winner for horror for the Goodreads Choice Awards in 2021, so that's another reason that I really wanted to read it. So yeah, Grady Hendrix, Final Girl Support Group. Very excited. There's a booktalker called Rosie Talbot, and she came out with a book called 16 Souls, and as soon as it was released I got a copy, to support her because I really love her book talk channel and I love all of her videos and she's just really lovely, but also because it just sounded like a really cool story. It is more middle grade than YA, I believe, and it is about a person who can talk to ghosts. And it says, in York, haunted souls are being hunted. When 16-year-old Charlie realizes dark forces have taken one of his ghostly friends, he must put aside his reclusive existence to protect them from a fate worse than death. He teams up with Sam Harrow, the new seer in town, and a ragtag group of spirits to unearth the chilling purpose behind the disappearances. As Charlie's romantic feelings develop for Sam, he will have to risk his life and his heart if he is going to save the afterlife. The Spookily Swoon YA debut from Booktar star Mero Child is her BookTok tag on TikTok. So I really wanted to get that to support my fellow booktalker, and also it just sounded like a really interesting read. So 16 Souls by Rosie Talbot. I then picked up Everything by Nicola Yoon. Heard a lot of about this on Book Talk. Again, that's where I get most of my book recommendations, either there or on BookTube. And this was at my local charity shop, so I really want to pick it up. And it says, live life in a bubble or risk everything for love. Maddie is allergic to the world. She hasn't left her house in 17 years. Ollie is the boy next door. He's determined to find a way to reach her. Everything is about the crazy risks we take for love. This was made into a movie, wasn't it? I'm sure it was made into a movie. Yeah, it literally says right there, read it before you see the film. Okay, look, I guess I'm going to have to read it before I see the film. I feel like it's going to be sad. I feel like I'm going to cry during that, and I don't know how I feel. I finally picked up a book that I've been wanting for a very long time, and I'm pretty sure I actually have it on Kindle, but I wanted my own physical copy because I just love the story, and it is Coraline by Neil Gaiman. I absolutely love Coraline. It's brilliant. The movie is freaky, the book is freaky, I just love it. So I'm so glad that I found it in the charity shop. 99p for a copy of a fantastic book. I'm so happy about it. So I got Coraline, very exciting. I then found a new series, but unfortunately this was in the charity shop as well, and they only had book 2 and 3 in the trilogy. They didn't have book 1, but I did pick up 2 and 3 because it sounded really interesting, and I will have to pick up book 1 obviously at some point. But I did get Arm of the Sphinx and The Hod King. The first book is called Senlin Ascends. I don't want to read the synopsises of these books because I don't have the first book to read for you, but it is a fantasy. It seemed like a sci-fi cross fantasy when I read the synopsis, so yeah, really interesting. Sounded very good. So it's Senlin Ascends is the first one, and it is by Josiah Bancroft. Yeah. Then a very highly anticipated book for Book Talk. I got Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn. This is the second in the Legendborn, I want to say duology. I feel like it's a duology. I may be wrong in that, but yeah, I got Bloodmarked, and it came with beautiful stenciled sprayed edges. It's so gorgeous. This is a retelling of the Knights of the Round Table, but with magic. And Legendborn was a huge hit on Book Talk. People absolutely love it. Again, I have the first book. I have not read it yet, but I just know I'm going to love it. So yeah, I picked up Bloodmarked, especially when I saw those sprayed stenciled edges. I was going to pick it up anyway, but you know me, I can't pass a pretty book. So Bloodmarked. I then got Hexappeal. This is by Kate Johnson, and this sounds like a really fun witchy romance book, and someone actually mentioned that they'd read it recently and they really enjoyed it. So I will quickly read the synopsis for you. Essie Winterscale, that's a cool name. Essie Winterscale lives in a huge and ever-changing house in the village of Goodwinter in deepest, darkest Essex. She lives with various witches of various ages, including one who is still a bit salty about having been hanged in the 18th century. One who keeps accidentally casting fertility spells, and one who knits things that create the future. Into this coven of chaos stumbles gorgeous, clueless Josh, their new landlord, and he's just discovered his tenants haven't paid rent since the 1700s. As Josh is drawn further into the lives of the inhabitants of Beldam House, Essie is determined to keep him at broomstick's length. That is, until a family secret lying hidden for centuries puts Josh firmly under her spell. How fun does that sound? It just sounds like a really fun, witchy romance book. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a really fun, easy read, something you really can dive into. So very, very happy and excited about that one. And then George very wonderfully surprised me with a magic steeped in poison when we were in Waterstones recently as a Christmas present. I was looking at it and I said, I really, really want that, but I can't really afford it right now. So he snuck off and bought it me, the little sneaky bugger. So I got a magic steeped in poison, which I'm extremely excited for. The cover, I think, is one of the most beautiful covers. It's just stunning. So yeah, I got that. I then got What Lies Beyond the Veil. This is by Harper L. Woods. Found it for £3 at the work, so I'm definitely picking that up. This is another very popular fantasy on Book Talk, so when I saw it at the works and it was £3, I had to get it. I then picked up the very last in the Twisted Love series. So there's Twisted Love, Twisted Games, Twisted Hate, and then Twisted Lies. This is about billionaire brothers, I think. I'm pretty sure. I haven't read them yet, but I literally have all 4 of them now. I have the whole series, so I definitely need to read these at some point. But yeah, it's called the Twisted series, and I got the last in the series. It is, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's billionaire romance, and each book is about a different brother who are all billionaires. I then picked up Luster. This is by Raven Lilani. This sounded really interesting, and I will have to read the synopsis for you because I want to do it justice. Edie is just trying to survive. She's messing up in a dead-end job, and her relationship with Eric, a white, middle-aged archivist in an open marriage, is not uncomplicated. When she visits the suburban home Eric shares with his wife, Edie doesn't think she will be asked to stay, or asked to provide advice to their adopted black daughter. Least of all does Edie expect that there she will be given space to do the thing that means the most to her, to paint, to document on canvas her own life, finally. Yeah, I just thought it sounded really, really interesting, so I wanted to pick it up. That's what I did. So I got Luster. I then also got Vespertine by Margaret Rogerson, and it's got beautiful sprayed edges. Now, Margaret Rogerson wrote Sorcery of Thorns and An Enchantment of Ravens. I have both those books. I have not read Sorcery of Thorns yet, but I have read Enchantment of Ravens, and I absolutely adored that book. I loved it. It was one of my top reads, like, I think 2 years ago maybe. Might even be 3. I'd love to reread that. It was definitely one of my favourite books. I just noticed this is in the way, so I'll move it. Oh my god, there's too many books. Okay, I'll have to put these over here. So yeah, I got Vespertine, which is her new, and I think it's a standalone. Sorcery of Thorns and Enchantment of Ravens have both been standalones, so I think this is also a standalone. So yes, I picked up Vespertine. I am extremely excited about reading this because, as I said, I loved An Enchantment of Ravens, so I also really want to read A Sorcery of Thorns. So that is very high up on my to-read list. I think I also have this on Kindle as well. I'm just buying repeats of books at this point. I got The Sword of Kaigen. This is a heavy book. It is weighty. And this is by M.L. Wang. And I've heard a lot of people really, really loving this and saying it's a real underrated fantasy. Really epic, full of world building, just really awesome. So it says, better to die sharp in war than rust through a time of peace. Yeah, it just sounds like a real epic high fantasy, and I've heard a lot of good things about this book, but a lot of people saying that it is underrated and not many people have read it. That may have changed in the time since I bought it, I don't know. So yeah, I got The Sword of Kaigen, just a real epic high fantasy full of war and fighting and politics and all that good stuff. So yes, I got that. I found this at the charity shop for £2. Oh, I love charity shop finds. So this is The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell, and Maggie O'Farrell also wrote Hamnet, I'm pretty sure. Yes, the new novel from the author of Hamnet, winner of the Women's Prize for Fiction 2020. Again, I have Hamnet, I have yet to read it, and I was considering getting this anyway. Oh, it was actually £1.25 from the charity shop. £1.25 for this beautiful hardback edition of a very new book. I'm very, very happy. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see that. Didn't even see that. Literally got a tiger on the front. That's so cool. Yeah, it's a gorgeous book as well. Very excited about that one. For Christmas, I also got The Drowned Woods. I got this off my brother. My parents also bought me a copy by accident as well. They both bought me off my wish list. This is by Emily Lloyd-Jones, and Emily Lloyd-Jones also wrote The Bone Houses, I believe. She did, yes, she wrote The Bone Houses. Her young adult novels include Elusive, Deceptive, The Hearts We Sold, The Bone Houses, and The Drowned Woods. And I absolutely loved The Bone Houses so much. I read that 2 years ago. One of my favourite reads of the year. I absolutely loved it, so I have extremely high hopes and expectations for The Drowned Woods. So excited. Just a beautiful book. Looks very magical. It says, once upon a time, the kingdoms of Wales were rife with magic and conflict. An 18-year-old Myrrid Myr is well acquainted with both. As the last living water diviner, she can manipulate water with magic, a unique elemental power many would kill to possess. For years, Myr has been running from the prince who bound her into his service and forced her to kill thousands with her magic. Oh my gosh. Now all Mer truly wants is a safe, quiet life, far from power and politics. But then Mer's old handler, the king's spymaster, returns with a proposition. Use her powers to bring down the very prince that abused them both. With the help of a fey-cursed man, a snarky thief, a corgi that may or may not be a spy. I'm going to love this book, I know. Mer must decide if she's prepared to run for the rest of her life or to stand and fight for her freedom and peace. It has a corgi that may be a spy in it. And I do remember when I was reading the Bone Houses, there is a goat in the Bone Houses. I can't remember what it was called, but it was literally one of the best characters. It was so funny. It was literally it was just, I love the goat so much. So yeah, I have extremely high hopes for this book and I really cannot wait to read it. I think it's going to be excellent. I'm so excited. We have 2 books left. I then got The 7 Moons of Mali Almeida, and this is last year's Booker Prize winner, I believe. Winner of the Booker Prize 2022. Yeah, so as I've said in previous videos, I want to do a Booker Prize book video. So yeah, this was half off in Waterstones, so I picked it up. I do not want to read the synopsis of this for myself, just because I want to go into that Booker Prize video kind of blind and really just delve into the books without knowing what's going to happen. So yeah, I picked that up and I'm very excited to do that video, and the cover is just so colourful and beautiful, and yeah, I'm very excited. And then last but certainly not least, I picked up I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. Jeanette McCurdy was a Disney Channel girl. I think she was on Disney Channel a little bit late in time for me. I think I was a little bit too old for when she was on Disney, but I've heard incredible things about this book. I've heard it is very difficult to read at times, that her mum was a narcissistic emotional abuser, but I'm really, really looking forward to reading this. It's not often that I like to read kind of autobiography style nonfiction, but it just sounds really appealing. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this, and I wanted to pick it up anyway. I was hoping to find it in a charity shop because it's quite a popular book, so I assumed I would find one, but Waterstones are selling it brand new for half price, so I just picked it up that day. But I am extremely excited to read this one. It is very high on my list to read, which I think I've said about every single one of these books. Okay, we're done. I know I kind of rushed through those books, but I figure if you kind of like the look and sound of something, that you will go and research the book yourself if you actually really want to read it. So that is my 30 book recent book haul / Christmas book haul. I know it seems like a lot. No, it doesn't seem it. It is a lot, but this is a collection of around 4 months worth of books, and then I did get like 8 for Christmas. So I'm getting better. It's not that bad, you know? It's like 5 books a month, sometimes more. I'm getting better. I'm trying. Yeah, those are all the 30 books that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoy these videos. I will continue to do them regardless of whether people enjoy them or not, because I always end up buying more books and I want to talk about them. So yes, that is everything. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see all of you lovely people in the next one. Alright, bye guys.